311,910. Water and sewerage, we have 44,190. Medical service receivables, that is NHIF, we have 3,560,500. Sanitary and cleaning materials, we have 731. Medical gases, we have 84, 996. Telephone and mobile phone services, 60,000. Catering expenses, we have 18,000. Subscription to professional bodies, at 6,000. Firewood, 50,000. Printing and stationery, 345, 899. General office supplies, we have 106,044. Inventories, pharmaceutical supplies, 1,016,260. Inventories, that is laboratory supplies, 1,285,633. Inventories, that is food supplies, 110,545. Further, management did not avail the trial balance to support the amounts as reported in the financial statements. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the above balances included in these financial statements could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Back to the accounting officers. Your responses as written.
Management response. These variances were due to misclassification of expenditure of items in the vote heads. This affected the total summing up of the expenses in the source documents and schedules.
Back to the auditor.
Thank you, Chair. There are no restatements or amendments of the prior year balances. So the variances are still outstanding because there is no revision which has been done in the subsequent year. Thank you.
If you have something to say, maybe if you have your accountant. Well, now when you took oath by extension is also part of the oath. So if you have something to react on that before I give back to the members.
Going through the financial statements, we found out that most of the items were not classified in the right vote head. Hence, sometimes making the figure be higher or lesser than what it was, what the actual expenditure was. Thank you.
Maybe to confirm, are you account clerk or your accountant?
I'm an accountant.
So what are your qualifications?
I'm a holder of a Bachelor of Business Management from Moi University and CPA 2, Part 2.
Okay. And who did this financial statement?
The financial statements were done by another accountant who by that time was maybe working there, but whom I did not find. He had already been transferred.
And when did you take your responses to the auditors?
The current responses are I took them around. I cannot get the actual date, but it was around October, September.
So you are the one who presented this to the auditors.
Who responded to the auditors?
Yeah. Now, did you realize these misclassifications before going to the auditor?
Yes, I realized.
Why did you not correct all that? Why did you just go on and?
These
because-
responses were against a certificate which had already been produced for financial year 2022-2023.
Did you hold any exit meeting with auditors?
For the same financial year, no.
Okay. Maybe let me give members the opportunity to ask if they're saying something. Back to the auditor. What would you advise then? Just before that, Honorable Kumu.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I heard the accountant saying that he's a CPA holder. Is that true? You are CPA?
I said that I'm a holder of Bachelor of Business Management, Moi University, and CPA Part 2.
What is CPA Part 2?
We have CPA Part 1, CPA Part 2, and CPA Part 3. So when you finished Part 3, now you become a CPA K holder, eligible to practice in the Republic of Kenya.
When you say you are a CPA Part 1, what are you trying to insinuate to the committee? That you hold a CPA or you are doing a CPA? Are you certified?
I'm certified public accountant Part 2.
Are you a certified public accountant?
I'm not a certified public accountant of Kenya.
Then what are you? Maybe just before I go to the next question. That will really help me.
Maybe if you want me to clarify the CPA exam profession.
No, I'm not asking about the exam profession.
Yes.
I'm asking about your qualification. Are you a certified public accountant?
No.
Thank you, Chair. My next question is, if you are doing that CPA too, whatever you call it,
Yes.
why did you not amend the statements?
I have already clarified to the chairman that the certificate had already been produced by the Auditor General's office, and mine was just to respond on their observation.
Thank you, Chair.
Do we issue certificates before going through the management letter?
The certificates come after the management letter and after.
And you are the same person who presented the responses to the auditor. Is that not so?
The process of financial.
No. We have to be very clear. We don't need studies and everything.
Yes.
Who presented the responses to the auditor?
It is me.
Yeah. You had all the opportunity to do what you should have done before the certificate comes out. You Because if it was done by somebody and you claim to have known some accounting, you would have rectified these things before going to the, and even after that, when you are called for the meeting of management, that management period, when you are now being briefed on ABCD, you had all the opportunity before the certificate comes out.
I seek to clarify that the certificates come out before the responses. These were responses after the certificate.
But obviously, you were given time without data. See, you are given time without data to do any necessary changes if it is there.
That,
Before the report comes out.
that process, it is when the financial statements are presented, but not when the responses are being done.
So, in other words, it is very clear that you may not be having anything again to talk about now. Misclassifications, because it is costing you. How does it come when you are doing accounting? How will you meet such kind of problems, misclassifications?
This misclassification should have been corrected at the draft level when responding on the letter of management. But by the time I was doing this response, the assembly, the certificate had already been issued.
Any member? Anybody who has, before I give it back to the auditor? Back to the auditor? Or what would you advise?
Thank you, Chair. My advice is that whenever you realize that there are errors or misstatements or misclassifications in your accounts, the best way is under the current financial year, you restate the opening balances, meaning you do correction, but you restate the correct opening balances under the current financial year. Like now, you ought to have done under the year 2023, 2024. Thank you, Chair.
Being an accountant, you are claiming you are an accountant.
Yes, I'm aware of a prior year restatement of the figures which may not be satisfying.
So you are doing what you know. You are failing to do what you know. Is that what you are trying to confirm to the committee? It is confirmed. There's no problem. We'll have to move. Now the matter is not sorted out. It is not resolved. Question 3.1. That is now question 2 according to our program. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 6. So that is now 3.1.
Thank you, Chair. Unsupported cash and cash equivalent balance. An account held at Cooperative Bank reflects a cash balance of Kenya shilling 1,368,368,000. While the bank statements reflect a balance of Kenya shilling 1,207,256. The cash book for another account at a commercial bank indicated a balance of Kenya shilling 1,154,456, while the bank statement indicated a balance of Kenya shilling 1,138,142. However, management reported based on the bank statements instead of the reconciled cash book balance. Further, Board of Survey was not conducted as at the end of the financial year, as stipulated in the law, the cash books were not reviewed and management did not prepare and submit monthly bank reconciliation statements for audit. In addition, although the entity has an M-Pesa utility account, the balance was not reported or disclosed in the financial statements, and management did not provide for audit the authority to open two bank accounts. Thank you, Chair.
Back to the accounting officers.
Management ensure that the cash books are well prepared. Management has ensured that the cash books are well prepared and bank reconciliations have been done, reviewed, and signed accordingly. The balance used in the financial statement were derived from the cash book as per the cash basis of financial reporting, which has now been changed to accrual basis of financial reporting as advised by the National Treasury. In addition, the M-Pesa account records and reconciliations have been done and reported in the subsequent year of financial reporting.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair. Although the management has indicated that action has been taken, we still need to see the cash books, the bank reconciliation statements, how they have been done. So there is the documentary evidence for audit verification. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. Obviously, we need evidence. You know, the audit, it is more of evidence than just hearsay. So where is the evidence that you have really done something to justify your claims? That is what the auditor is asking. Maybe you can. Sawa, you have done all that. You have a good essay and all that, but where is the evidence?
We indeed conducted one board of survey at the end of the subsequent financial year. Previously, management acknowledges that it was not done because there was no procurement officer, but going forward, we have done one. It's available and can be availed for, which was for the period ending June 2024.
Members? Back to the members.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick one. The auditor is asking where you got the authority to open two bank accounts.
Thank you, Chair and member, for the question. The current bank accounts that the hospital is using were adopted from the previous, before devolution. That is what the Ahero sub-district used before the devolution came in. And most of the facilities were told to adopt instead of opening other accounts, they were told to adopt the existing bank accounts.
Who told them, Honorable Chair? Who told them, and where is communication for the same?
That is a communication that should come from the executive, mostly the CC, Finance and Economic Planning. Is the person who has the authority to allow.
But they communicated. You say it was communicated. So the communication came from them to you, right?
Yes.
So where is yours? Where's your copy?
maybe I will say that some of those communication are just instructions from the executive,
Verbal instructions.
which I may not defend.
So in Honorable Chair, so you said you are the accountant or the accounts clerk?
Accountant.
Accountant. Okay, let me go with what you want. You are the accountant. I believe an accountant should have a CPA. You don't have a CPA. But let me be honorable and call you the accountant. So the accountant, somebody called you or met with you along the road and told you, yeah, you can proceed with the 2 bank accounts. And you took that as official communication. Through you, Chair.
Kindly respond to that question.
That one should not be the case.
So you are agreeing that you did something that was wrong.
I'm agreeing that the health facilities, by adopting the existing bank accounts, they needed some documentation to,
Which does not exist.
which does not exist.
And the auditor flagged it and we still cannot provide. And then 2, Honorable Chair, the hospital has an M-Pesa utility account which was not reported or disclosed in the financial statements. Why was that, Mr. Accountant?
This was an omission which the hospital has acknowledged, but going forward we've integrated and shown the M-Pesa utility account in the subsequent financial year that we prepared.
Why was it omitted? I think that's what the auditor is asking, is raising. The hospital didn't know about it. An M-Pesa utility account the hospital didn't know to disclose to the auditor.
At that time, the hospital did not have the personnel who may have maybe advised them to, or pertaining the M-Pesa disclosure and all the disclosure in the financial.
So do we have it now? Because that's why we are here. It wasn't disclosed when we were doing the audit.
Yes.
We are now responding to the audit queries then.
Yes.
And I believe now we can have it because you are now there and you are the accountant.
Yes, we have it.
So where is it?
I'll beg that maybe the committee can give me time and I'll avail it.
How much time?
That will be at the discretion of the committee.
We want to agree. Yeah, we'll make the decision, but we also want to hear your side of the story. How much time do you think you need so that when we're making decision, we can even tell you we need it in the next 3 hours because we believe these are audit queries that were raised way back in, when was that? In September? No, in June.
Yes, they were raised in May.
May.
Yes.
May of which year?
2024.
May of 2024. Yes. And we are in?
We are in January 2025.
And you had these questions all along. And the only reason we are coming here is not to fault find, because this when we can clean some of the things that were there and could not be provided during audit. And this is the time to provide the documents, and then we make our facility clean. But right now, you couldn't provide it then when audit was being done. You don't have it now when there was communication to you, and you responded in 20th of October 2024. You didn't attach it. We are in January 2025, it's not there. Don't you see there's some games being played with this M-Pesa utility account?
I believe that there's no game which is being played, but maybe my shortcoming is not availing maybe attaching the M-Pesa reports.
So why did you not attach it? Thank you so much, Honorable Chair.
You don't have a question? You don't have an answer to that? Yeah. Okay, if you don't have, you just say you don't have because it is not there, but you are there. You are even in the office of the auditor. Exit meeting, not provide it. 5 months, you could not provide it. But you want to provide it within 2 weeks. That is quite ridiculous and funny. We'll make a decision on that. Unless you have, okay, thank you. Madam Auditor, next question. It's now 5.2. For the members, it is 5.2.
Variances in receivables from exchange transactions. The statement of financial position reflects receivables from exchange transactions balance of Kenya shilling 3,826,400 as disclosed in Note 15 to the financial statements. The amount is in respect to National Health Insurance Fund, that's NHIF, claims whose records indicate a balance of Kenya shilling 2,055,250, resulting to an unexplained variance of Kenya shilling 1,771,150. In the circumstances, the accuracy, completeness, and recoverability of the trade receivables balance of Kenya shilling 3,826,400 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Back to the accounting officers.
Management response. Management takes note of the audit concern. This variance is due to payment made in the subsequent financial year, hence overlapping reports. The management noted the observation and has addressed the same by reference to bank statements for the period under review, and the same reconciled.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, sir. Chair. The amount owed by NHIF is still not reconciled. There's no evidence showing that the amount from the other side of NHIF is which amount. So we still need reconciliation as per the report. Thank you.
If you have something to say, maybe to expand on that. How do you manage your NHIF? How do you, could you please take us through how you are managing this? And how do you know the amount of money which is paid by the NHIF? And how do you know the balance? How are you managing this?
Thank you.
Because nearly all hospitals, we are meeting this kind of problem. But we want to hear how you are managing it, your NHIF. Assume that we don't have SHA, because we are still talking about NHIF. Now, how are you managing it?
Thank you, Chair. NHIF, the NHIF claims are usually reconciled within the hospital every month. However, so they will deposit amounts and even skip at times and they pay. It's a random payment. So what happens is you've generated your claims from January to March, but they may pay a few in March, a few in January, a few, and then the other ones overlap, and maybe they pay them even on July 3rd, 4th. So when you are reporting, then you find there is already that variance. So for the hospital, we report what was paid as at 30th June. Sometimes at the time of audit, because they paid the claim, say for June on 5th, then they report it as a paid claim. But now they didn't pay it before the end of June. They paid it later. And you see now that falls in a different financial year. And to the hospital, it becomes revenue generated in that other financial year and not the previous. So as much as the claim was for June, the payment is made in July, so it becomes revenue for, say, 2024, 2025, and not 2023, 2024.
That final. How do you charge the NHIF people? Do you have a demand note? Do you prepare a demand note indicating very clearly you owe us this, you paid this, and you still owe us this? Or you only rely on bank statements, what is remitted, then now you move on?
Thank you, Chair. The hospital generates a demand note in form of a claim, maybe say when a client comes and he wants to use the NHIF facility. There is a claim form which the hospital fill, and the client is logged into the system. So when the way the MedSup has said, the NHIF will always do something like reimbursement of our expenses to treat that, and these reimbursements are done directly to our bank account at the KCB. So from that bank account, whatever we have.
Chair. Thank you, Mr. Kawandan. I think what the chair is asking, what you are explaining is a process for approval by the NHIF, like any other medical insurance. You go there, you fill the form, then they logging in for approvals. Once approval is gotten, then you go through the treatment. You can be treated for 2 days, 1 week, even if you are inpatient. Then you are discharged. Then the hospital will now formally begin the process of claim, whether for reimbursement or for whatever it is. That's what he's asking. What is the procedure? Do you prepare a demand note summarizing all the expenses that you have incurred after that approval in a month or in a year? How do you do that? That was the question, if I got you right. Thank you.
Okay. What I've seen the practice is that we can reconcile and know all our claims and wait for the NHIF to see what they will reimburse on our claim. And from the reimbursement is when we know that our claim was maybe 5 shillings and they only reimbursed 2 shillings, so that we know the difference. But we don't have a formal way that we can now say that this is what we want for this month because of their haphazard way of reimbursement.
But how comes now, if you're talking about that, if you know what you are demanding from the NHIF, you know what is given to you even after 3 months, how comes now you can't reconcile your accounts? What is happening? If you know what is given to you, you know what you are owed, very clear, and you know what is pending, which is not paid, even if it is after every financial year, it is very clear. It should be indicated. Why is that reconciliation not happening if you have all those things? Because you are the generator. Obviously, you are the people generating, then you are doing a demand note, explaining very clearly. For the month of July, you did not do this, you did not did this, you paid this, now you owe us this. You see? Even if it runs up to probably from June to October, you know what is owed. You know what is pending, what is already wired back to your account. And you have the bank statement. You also have what you are claiming here. How comes you can't reconcile your accounts now? What has happened? I think this is now for the accountant, because you are the person doing all these things. Yes. Yes. How? Why? Why do we need to ask these questions? Because it is very clear.
Chairman, I will say that that is the elephant in house for NHIF claims, because most of or our facility or most of facilities, whatever our figure for claim is not always tallying with their figures. So it has been an elephant in the house, and I rest my case.
Mr. Clark, and in the house, for example, if you generate a demand note for, let's say, 200,000, assuming that is for a period of maybe 3 months, isn't it? Let's just look for that hypothesis. Then out of 200,000, they end up remitting 120,000. They have your pending bills of 80,000. Then as you do the next claim, you do an explanation note that out of we have owe us a balance of 80,000 plus the current one, which is another 120,000. So you still generate a demand note for another 200,000. Then you use that one that settlement to reconcile your book. Is that an elephant in the room?
So really, you are failing to do what you should be doing. As much as you are claiming that you are an accountant, you are trying to hide something there so that it is a cash cow to you people. If I'm lying, could you now tell me if it is a lie? Because you are using that confusion for your own benefit. Yes, because I don't see why can't you reconcile all this. What is remitted in the bank is very clear. The record is very clear. There's no one tampering with those. You know what is given to you. You know what is owed to you. And now it is just a matter of making the difference. Even if you is an old Danny, we'll just do that. Yeah. Even in the assembly, we have people who are providing services. They provide services, but at times it takes even 3 months. You pay some little amount of money, and they know very clearly that what is owed to us by the assembly is much. Even if you are the one doing the business, you'll be doing that. And if there is any issue, it is upon you now to go to the NHIF to work out the difference, where the problem is. Then you are iron out. Because how will they know if you don't go there with your bank statements plus all what you are claiming? I think they have to approve any kind of payment. Is that true? You have to send for the request so that they approve. The moment they approve, you have your records with you. Now, you also have the banks, what they sent in the bank. You know what they owe you. So how is it? It's a very big elephant. You know, elephant is the biggest animal so far. When you talk about that, it means it is impossible for you. I don't see anything impossible there. So you have to work on that. One accountant, you need to work on that. Unless you have something different from what you have said. But if you want to repeat yourself, kindly allow us to move on. Yes. I think that is which question? 3.0 under report on lawfulness, effectiveness in use of public resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Lack of quarterly revenue reports. The statement of financial performance reflects Kenya shilling 8,373,605 in relation to the rendering of services. Medical services income as disclosed in Note 7 to the financial statement. However, the hospital did not provide evidence to show that the reports were prepared and submitted the same to the county treasury with a copy to the Auditor General as per the requirement of regulations 64 sub 1 of the Public Finance Management County Regulations 2015, which requires the accounting officer or the receiver of revenue or collector of revenue to prepare a quarterly report not later than the 15th day after the end of the quarter. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law. Thank you, Chair.
Back to the management.
Management response. The management notes this omission. The county has since deployed an accountant to the hospital, and these quarterly reports are currently being done. This is done through surrender of revenue to county revenue board on monthly basis, which is also reported to the hospital board of management for quarterly budget deliberations.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair. I want to say that if these quarterly revenue reports are done, we need to see them as an office, that is the Office of the Auditor General, and even to the county treasury. So we need the evidence that this has been done. Thank you, Chair.
If you have something to say, you have something to react on, before I give back to the members. Okay, so some members. When we talk about audit, it is just evidence-based. What are you talking about, Doc? You talk about say. See, you are to provide those things. Where's the evidence to show that you are?
So for this financial year, it's true the quarterly reports were not being done. Currently, it's being done, and if I'm given maybe 3 days, I can avail all this. That will be my request. I don't know. Sorry.
Medisup, you fail to do it after 5 months. Then you must be too awake to do it within only 2 days or 3. Is it really? Because you are given from May to do all these things. And we also had an exit meeting, which is the management meeting. You could not provide those things. Members, do you agree something which you have failed to do for the last 5 months, you will do for 2 days? That's quite unfortunate. Yes. Honorable Rakwach.
Yeah, I need guidance maybe from the clerk or from the office of the Auditor General. Because here it is indicated that there is a law which requires, this is the Regulation 64 of the Public Finance Management 2015, that requires an accounting officer or receiver of revenue or collector of revenue to prepare a quarterly report not later than the 15th day after the end of that quarter. Is there a penalty? If there is failure of the same, is there a penalty? So that is what maybe I may want the clerk or the office of the Auditor General to guide me on.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Okumu, you had something to say?
I'm just wondering why the accountant could not help the hospital with preparing the audit, the reports. What are the hiccups that is getting?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Maybe I will just wish to clarify that all this was done before I was posted there, which I know it is not on record that I should say that here. But since I was posted there, I have done my reports on time, and I have the evidences that I have done that. But previously, I may not be in a position to explain why it was not being done.
Chair, I know it was not being done. That's why you were taken there. And I don't. I'm not an accountant, but having gone there, what are you able to do them, or it's way past doing them now?
I'm able to do them from the time I was posted there. I've been doing them by 5th of every month and submitting them to the County Revenue Board.
You said you have been doing them?
I've been doing them by 5th of every month.
Okay.
Yes, and submitting the revenue surrenders and getting the report in the receipts and all the documents from the Revenue Board.
Oh,
Yes.
I hope this is not the same person who could not identify misclassifications and misstatements. I hope this is a different person. Because if you could not manage to see all that, and you are telling us to be doing something, then that is quite unfortunate. But we are waiting. You know, the other time you will be coming back here. Remember, you are on Hansard, and we'll always be visiting all those issues. Because you fail to do others and we are doing others. But you have the responsibility to do all. You see, we must doubt whatever you are talking about. But let's give you a benefit of doubt if you really mean what you are talking about. Because next time we'll be asking matters concerning Ahero. Obviously, we'll come back here. And if you don't come back here, we will be looking for you. There's a law stating very clearly, whether you are in office or not there, you are responsible for your actions. So you have to be accountable. It is very clear. Honorable Kumu, maybe you can.
Chair, I just wanted to remind him of the responsibility yours having taken over as the accountant of the hospital. And I always remind those who come here that you remember our chief finance officer was in Kodiaga for a matter that happened during local council time. So the excuse of I was not there should not be there. The day you went there, I believe you had a handing over report and you took the responsibility of helping the hospitals in managing the finances. And that includes doing the financial statement. So, Chair, I won't prefer this excuse over and again of, no, I just went there, oh, I was not there. I don't think it should be there. Thank you, Chair.
We are a bit lenient. We are a bit lenient. But one, there's a reason why you are taken there. If you don't belong there, then we can recommend for your transfer immediately to the best place you think you can do. Somebody messed that facility. Now you are brought up. You are brought there now to rectify. At the same time, you are talking, I was not there, you are not there. That is why you are taken there to rectify this reason. So take your responsibility seriously and kindly let us serve the public. You know, that is a public fund you are managing. So desist from talking about, oh, I was not there. Somebody who went to the facility where you are is also talking the same. And that is quite unfortunate for you have to be responsible. I hope you stand guided. So take responsibility for what you have. I also had admin, not admin, but med soup was also talk. Oh, you are appointed. Oh, you are no. Now you are appointed recently. There was somebody doing all this job, messed up, but now you are the person standing here. So the responsibility, obviously, the moment you get into a facility, you are the one responsible. So there's no way you will be running away from this. So another issue which is also there, which you may be thinking, here we are here to help each other. We are here to help you so that you make your work better. So if you have a problem, don't try to conceal it. Kindly just be open, because assembly, we can deal with any department directly without even passing through ABCD. You are not allowed to write to the Department of Lands directly. If we have issues of title deed, you must go through your department then now. But with us, we don't need to talk to the department. We go direct to the relevant departments. So we can help you a lot. So if you have issues, we are here to help each other, not to pin or to make somebody. The law, there was a law which is quoted here, surely. That is meant to guide you on what to be done. So the reason why we are asking if there is any penalty, obviously there is a penalty. That is why there is a law. If you break a law, there must be a penalty. Even if you don't read it now, but remember, we will be making a decision on these issues. So when we make a decision on these issues, we will be quoting the law, we will be guided by the law, and we will make our reports. So despite the fact that we did not give a clerk opportunity to read if there is any consequence, there is a very big consequences of breaking the law, especially on public finance. It is risky. So take note of that. The issue is not solved. Back to the auditor number. Oguta number.
5. Number 5. Irregularities in procurement of goods and services. Review of the records provided for audit, verification, including payment vouchers and invoices. Revealed the following instances of direct procurement contrary to the law. Under food and ration, as disclosed in Note 8 to the financial statements, the statement of financial performance reflects medical clinical costs of Kenya shilling 8,826,655, which includes an amount of Kenya shilling 1,501,302 in respect of food and ration. Examination of the payment records provided for audit revealed that the management procured goods directly by issuing local purchase orders to suppliers without subjecting them to the procurement processes. In addition, goods were procured without requisitions from the user departments. This was contrary to Section 106 of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act 2015 on pre-qualified listing of suppliers. Thank you, Chair.
Counting officers.
Management response. Pre-qualification of suppliers has been centralized, and all pre-qualified suppliers are eligible to supply food and ration to all Kisumu County health facilities. This has also been done through common user goods framework agreements.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair. Although the procurement is centralized, the management should adhere to, I insist that the management should adhere to the procurement regulations in place. Thank you, Chair.
Maybe you have something to say?
Uh, Through Chair, what I would add is the hospital currently received a procurement officer who is assisting us with the procurement processes, and we are currently adhering to the law of procurement.
When did you get the officer?
The first officer reported around March and was transferred back to JTRH, and there was a latest posting order from around June for procurement officer for the sub-county, Nyando sub-county.
As accounting officer, are you conversant with the procurement law?
Yes, I will say part of it, not all. But I'm getting to read through all of it.
But you should go through it, because somebody will exploit any kind of loophole to mess you up, obviously. Yeah, and for one, there's a process of doing all that. There's a process of doing that, and the process must be respected because it's guided by law. So the moment it's not done, you will get into a problem. Maybe to any member who would reinforce that. I hope you are aware you are now an entity. That is why you are given a procurement officer. You are an entity.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes. Are you seeing the chief officer here? No. Yes, the one who is here. So the moment you are, we'll now be talking about centralized work, such kind of things. The procurement rules, regulations, procedure, the law of the land must be respected. So if you don't respect that, admins are being transferred within a very short period of time. But you will be keeping there for almost probably 5 years or more than 3 years. And the admins, they will be there for only 6 months or 1 year. So it is upon you now to insist on due diligence. Any matter concerning law, kindly please, it is your duty. Unless we have something to say. I think we are going to the last one, unless you have something to say. Procurement is a problem with hospitals. So that's a problem. Maybe.
Yeah, Chair, it's true. It's true that procurement is a problem. But sometimes I think the problem comes with with the staff. Because even the way they've answered the question, unless I'm having the wrong one, let me read it. Management response, pre-qualification of suppliers has been centralized and all pre-qualified suppliers are eligible to supply food and ration to all Kisumu County health facilities. But the question was on the process, the question is not on the people who are pre-qualified accounts clerk. I'm reminding you are an accounts clerk, not accountant. If you read the Accountants Act 2018 amended, until you do CPAK, that's when you can become an accountant. For now, just accept with all humility that you're heading there, but for now you are an accounts clerk, so that you don't bring those very many things you're saying, CPA 2, CPA 3, I don't know. Just finish the CPK so that we refer you as an accountant. The way you are responding to this tells me that you don't even know the process of the procedure for procuring commodities, because the office of the auditor is saying that you did not follow the procedure. And I like repeating, the procedure is from advertisement to opening of the tender to evaluation of those tenders, to award, inspection of commodities supplied before you even use them. And they're saying all that you did not do, unless you advertised. Did you? Was it advertised? Do we have any minutes for opening of the tenders? Nothing. Do we have any minutes for awards? Any inspection report of the commodities? I am not an accountant that you claim to be. But at least out of interest, I know some of those processes. So I think it's good that we know some of these things so that we don't let our hospitals do things just a quick way. Yeah, that's what I wanted to emphasize. Thank you.
Honorable Nditi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I think if there is any other shop or supermarket around their facility, I think this gentleman might just walk into that supermarket and boast this thing. Because the issues the Auditor General is raising in this are very, very basic, even if you're not an accountant. Because a pre-qualification of suppliers does not stop you from following due process in terms of identifying the person to be contracted, if I'm not wrong. Pre-qualification of suppliers or contractors only give you a pool of people that you can work with. And that gives you even the room for single sourcing in the event that you have an emergency. Because there are certain cases where the law allows you to do single sourcing, isn't it? So you have a pool of people you can reach out very quickly and you can call for invitation of tenders. And the law, there are certain cases where the law allows you even to single source without calling for 5 or 6 people to apply. All these still allow you to follow the due process. So what is done or what is responded to, or your action, in my opinion, is just like you guys decided to sit down, the 2 of you or the 3 of you, and walk to the nearby shop and procured all the materials you wanted. And that's why you cannot have an answer. Because if you followed the process, I think 6 months is not too long to forget everything that you did. Because you cannot remember, that means you don't even know what you did. So I think, in my opinion, Mr. Chair, I think this culture in this facility is one of the reasons why they cannot come out of adverse opinion. Because certain things that you cannot answer, Mr. Accountant, are too basic for an accountant not to even attempt to answer. And I think the best thing is just you guys, I think everything you've led to this discretion of the committee, including giving you time to provide some of the documents you said are in your possession, even maybe tomorrow you can still supply them. But I think you need to be much more serious, in my opinion. Otherwise, thank you.
We need to take action on some people so that no, we have to force issues. There are some people we have to take action on so that next time when we have another facility coming here, they will not be giving us funny answers, but correct answers. I think we have been lenient for some time, but it's high time now we call the shot and deal with these issues once and for all. You will never see them repeating themselves. The issue is not resolved at all. Number. Question number 3. Number 6. Number 6. Question number 6. Expiry of medical supplies. You draw.
Thank you, Chair. Expiry of medical supplies. Physical verification conducted in the pharmaceutical stores revealed that some commodities whose values were not indicated expired during the year as listed below. We have various items of drugs. Item number 1 is one called Mipian stroke isorinsil, 7 milligrams, quantity 21,924, dated 26th of January 2022. Expiry date was January 2024. EFE 200 milligrams, quantity 1,710, date of purchase was 27th July 2022. Expiry date was January 2023. Another one is sulfadoxine stroke promethazine, quantity 5,600. Date of purchase was 27th July 2022. Then expiry was April 2023. Darunafil, 600 grams, quantity 360. Date of purchase was 27th July 2022. October 2023 was the date of expiry. Rifonafil, 100 milligrams, quantity 420. Date of purchase was 7th November 2022. Expiry October 2023. Nivea Sun Kid, 50 tube, 44 quantity. Date of purchase was 7th November 2022. Expiry date August 2023. Further, these items were stored together with non-expired products that were still in use, and thus they were not quarantined as required in law, and the facility lacked skilled personnel to run and manage the movement of inventory, contrary to guideline 5.5 of the Pharmacy and Poisons Board for good distribution practices for pharmaceuticals. In the circumstances, the effectiveness of the storage system of pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical items could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Accounting officers.
Management response. The hospital had inadequate infrastructural facilities which constrained storage space. The facility had one pharmaceutical storage store and another store for non-pharmaceuticals. The hospital did not have a separate store for expired drugs. However, the management has put up a holding storeroom to help solve this problem by separating expired drugs and the ones in the current use. Deployment of skilled personnel to run and manage the movement of inventory has also been done. That's for the procurement office.
Back to the
Thank you, Chair. Although the management has explained, we still insist that evidence in support of the corrective action taken on expiry of medical supplies, including deployment of the procurement officer, be provided. Thank you.
if you have something to say before I give to members of the assembly. But can you remember we had the same case with Ahero the other time? Expired drugs? Yes, in the shelves.
Yes, Chair. I remember we had the same case with Ahero last time. I think there was a lady in charge, and it seems the problem is still existing. And I don't know what Dr. Kevin will say, because I don't know, what do you estimate to be the value of these drugs that expired? Dr. Kevin? I'm giving you, Honorable Member. What do you... So how much time would you require to know the cost of rifonavir 100 milligrams, for example?
I will have to refer, because as you can see, most of these drugs are drugs that are procured by the national government and distributed to facility for management of HIV and AIDS.
I appreciate that, and I understand that part. And I believe they don't just bring them. They bring them based on the demand that we are having. And for having large quantities getting expired, unless we have a record that people are defaulting, or people have died, that we don't need these drugs anymore. It is so sad that we are keeping drugs, they are expiring, while I know for sure that people need them. And I know you feel the pain too, and I just don't understand why. Now the worst part is, when you keep expired drugs together with drugs that need to be used, it's easy to dispense drugs that have expired. And it appeared in the last audit report that we are keeping drugs that have expired together with drugs that we are using, but it's still continuing. And you are a young doctor, very able. And I think it should concern you that this is continuing and it needs to stop. I don't know if it really concerns you that we are keeping drugs together.
Yeah, this concerns me, but I'll assure the committee that we currently have a separate store for this. Two, the county has deployed sub-county pharmacists who redistribute drugs through the county based on need, so it should just keep kept at Ahero to expire.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Akwach.
Chair, I feel that we should be furnished with evidence of this, the skilled personnel who has been deployed to the facility to help in keeping the movement of the inventory. They are stating here that they have got a procurement officer who is now doing that, who is charged with that. But this, we need a record. It is a house of record. That is what will make us really believe that at least they have got a skilled person who is now doing that. If it is not supported, then it remains a hearsay. Thank you.
What would actually convince members that you are doing something? Because, you know, it appeared in the other financial year. And remember, a procurement officer, no, not relevant here. We need a farm tech or pharmacist. These people are trained on how to enter inventories, stock taking, how to show that something is needed and such kind of things. They are trained, I know what they are doing. So kindly please, we want to know this pharmacist or farm tech managing the pharmacy. Because the other time it was an issue. And you promised through the med soup then that you are going to act on this, as you are promising now. And that is what actually brings doubt on what we are talking about from a member, that where is the evidence? Because the other time you promised through the med soup then that we are going to act. And we also questioned who is in charge. You know, that is sub-county hospital. We may be having a farm tech or a pharmacist, But now you are talking about recently deployed pharmacists. Who is the farm tech who was in charge by then? We need to act on these people, one. You can't just allow our people to lose drugs this way while we are watching. So as the in charge of the hospital, could you please give us the name of the person who has been responsible in this chemist? Hospital chemist.
Chair, the storage of the equipment and drugs are managed centrally by the procurement officer, and the posting order I can avail, it's available here.
Doc,
And the
Doc.
pharmacist,
Doc procurement officer is not concerned with the chemist.
the pharmacist
They were
in charge,
found in the cells of the chemist. That is the statement here. Yes.
the name of the pharmacist in charge
Yes,
is
yes.
Simon.
No, just give me full names. Clerk, could you please handle that case? Yes. Those are your boys, you know them.
It's
Somebody-
Simon Ogal.
Yes. Is the pharmacist, the new pharmacist, or the one who was messing up the hospital?
He's been there. He just
Yes.
got an additional title to manage the sub-county.
Yeah, but somebody, it was the pharmacist.
Yes.
No, that person should be demoted. We are going to recommend for that. We can't promote mediocrity. How? Yes.
Dr. Ali, you've stated here the hospital did not have a separate stores for the expired drugs. However, management has put up a holding store room to help solve the problem. Do you destroy expired drugs?
The expired drugs are supposed to be first separated, and then now there's a whole procedure for disposal.
Yeah, because, Dr. Ali, we run the risk of either siphoning the drugs in use with in the name of expired drugs because they are being kept together. And because we don't have records on how expired drugs are being kept separately, there is a high chance of either expired drugs being reused and probably would harm the patients, or a rude officer will siphon the drugs in use in the name of expired drugs. Because we don't have a system on how we are very clear on how we manage expired drugs and drugs in use. Because we lack the infrastructure, we lack the officer, everything are together. That's very possible. How can you confirm or assure this committee that expired drugs are not given back to the patients, or drugs are in use are not siphoned out in the name of expired drugs? How can you confirm to this committee? Thank you.
Okay. Doc, we know the body is concerned with the drugs, pharmacy and poison board. We must escalate this to the pharmacy and poison board. The other time we only threatened. So that you make a change, we have to do that. And the person who is in charge of the pharmacy must be ready to answer matters concerning these allegations, because these are confirmed issues within the facility. Secondly, we are giving you 2 weeks to show by proper evidence, writing, that you have actually deployed some measures, so that we don't see a repeat of the same mistakes again. So we need that kind of response from you. So we are directing, we are not requesting. You are directed to bring a response concerning the concern, this concern here, to the committee. We are going to escalate, we must tell you, because when you see them visiting your facility, you don't need to be afraid. Let whoever is concerned there be ready to answer these questions very clearly. Thank you. We have number 7. Was the last one. Number? Number 3. Report on effectiveness of internal control and risk management and governance.
Thank you, Chair. Irregular board meetings. The governor of Kisumu County appointed the Board of Management through a Gazette notice on 11th October 2019 for a term of 3 years, which expired in October 2022. However, review of board files revealed that 2 board meetings were held on 1st February 2023 and 11th April 2023, which was after the expiry date of the appointment. No evidence of extension of the appointment was availed for audit verification. In the circumstances, the hospital may have been governed by a board that was irregularly in office. Thank you, Chair.
Back to the accounting officers.
The management takes note of the audit concern and acknowledges the gaps. The Department of Health has since appointed a hospital board of management that currently holds regular meetings with supporting minutes available.
Back to the auditors.
Thank you, Chair. We still need the minutes of the board to support the management response. Thank you.
Doc, where is the evidence to show that you are at least somewhere? Because this is a concern.
Thanks, Chair. The minutes are available. The reason why I didn't avail them, I'd assumed that this was specifically talking about the meetings of February 2023 and April 2023, which was done by board members that had their appointment expired.
And why did you allow that? Or you are not there?
I take responsibility even if I was not there. But
just answer. Why did you allow that? Because that is the question. You know, there are some very small things which are very important. But now, illegal meetings, you are holding illegal meetings within the facility with illegal people attending the meeting, and you are paying them. I know they were paid. It is only that it is not indicated here by the auditor. But I think the auditor should have gone further and confirm whether they paid some illegal money so that we recover from them. Because if you paid such kind of money, we recover, because that is illegal payment. So going forward, you see, you just understand what is required. You don't need to do that. If you do that, if you pay them, if you sign and pay, then we recover from your salary. It's very clear, because responsibility lies with you. Maybe any member has something to say. I think we are done. We are done with our questions. The selected ones. Members of the County Assembly, probably you have something to say. Parting shot. Honorable Were.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I just want to take this moment to commend the team from the office of the OAG.
Yes.
Yeah, for having spared time to be in this exercise. I know it is a challenge to our management, but I just want to try their level best to do what is right, to put documentary evidence as per required in place, so that such like audit queries don't arise. Queries are just queries. If you provide evidence and answer to them, they no longer matter. So there are simple things that we ignore that give us a bad picture. But we are capable, you are capable of giving us the best report. I believe you can attain it, and I believe we can do it together to give the county and to give the facility a better image. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I want to take this opportunity to first of all thank everybody, the office of the OG, the OAG, the accounting officers from Ahero Sub-County Hospital. Mr. Chairman, I am very passionate about Ahero because fundamentally I come from Mumbai. If you know the proximity of Mumbai and Ahero, quite a good number of my constituents are being served by that facility. And the facility has the potential, Mr. Chairman, through the able leadership of the officer in charge, to do better than what they have presented here, Mr. Chair. I believe strongly. Things that have been raised in this audit report, Mr. Chair, are things that just need seriousness and a change of culture of work. I think the public department, as a culture of, I found them there. So, Mr. Chairman, it is a common practice, and it's just a good practice that probably why you are deployed there is because somebody who was there did not do as much as was expected. If your predecessor left a huge garbage, Mr. Chairman, you can't say that I got those garbage there. Now you cannot do anything about it. That's the reason why you are posted there to address those messes. I want to appeal to my brother, the accountant, that the fact that some of the things happened before you were there, the office is a perpetual institution. Even those things that happened before you were there, you are now responsible for them. And the first thing you should do when you enter into a new office is to read and get to know what has been the culture, the history of that office, so that at least you get to acclimatize yourself with what has been going there, so that you know where to pick from. That is the importance of having reading a handover report, so that you also use that one to make a takeover report for yourself. Otherwise, you will just be rendered irrelevant on certain things that you would have done very well. Because I know you guys are capable. So let's take this thing seriously and let's ask ourselves, why has God given us this opportunity? There are so many people who are looking for that job. Why us? So that we should make this place, at least every station you leave, at least important for you to think about how you can leave a positive mark that we'll remember with. Not that counting the number of stations you have been posted and there's nothing to show about them. This is now your own conscience. How do I leave this place a better place than I found it? Ahero has a very huge potential. Actually, it's having almost, if not 4, then there are about 6 wards. Kobura, Kabonyo Kanyagwal, or what do you call it? The other one, this one over Chile is called what? East Kanawawidi, Masogonyangoma, Wasionjiko, Ombei. All those wards are being served by that facility. And that's important. That's how important this facility is, gentlemen. So you guys did not come here to be crucified. We only came here to help each other understand how best we can improve and make this place a better place for our people. We are serving the humanity, and by extension, we are serving God. So me, I would plead with you guys to take some of these issues raised by auditor here seriously. When you address some of these things, I think you guys will be smiling all the way, because some of them are very basic, in my opinion. Otherwise, I thank you so much. And I know the next time we'll be meeting here, we'll not be having many questions to answer. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Honorable Akwaj, you have something to say? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. We take note of this. We agreed that you are going to bring a report on failing to remit deductions, the NHI reductions, and whoever was responsible by then. We also agreed that we are going to write a report concerning the expired drugs, whoever is, and include the name of whoever was in charge of the pharmacy, not procurement officer. That is very far from where I is. We also agreed that going forward, you understand very clearly the importance of Ahero Hospital being situated along the way. You know, it is along the highway, so it is a very important facility. But we have to recognize something which was quite positive. There was a time we were visited here by the Senate, the health committee from the Senate. And somebody reported you people to the Senate. I don't know, it was our senator or somebody like that. Now they were feeling that we cannot work on you people. We are compromised. So it forced the whole Senate team of 5 senators to come and visit Ahero and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital. They were also visiting Vihiga by then. But now they got something else in Vihiga, what resembles our hospital. But when they came to Kisumu, we first went to Jaramogi. Now we were heading back to, no, we first came to Ahero. We were so much impressed with whatever we got there. And all the senators could not believe that the report which was given to them was the one they were seeing, comparing what they were seeing in Ahero. In terms of work, organization, and all those things, you do so good. Or a visitor can give you 100 and over %. But fortunately, you have some ABCDs. Those ABCDs, when you look at your problem, failing to reconcile, misstatements, things which you should be doing, matters concerning the board, those are things which should not bring you here. We should be talking about other matters. And I know if you put some effort on this, you will improve, really improve, and get another opinion altogether. It is not just a matter of getting an opinion, but it is also in line with provision of services to our people. So we encourage the kind of work you are doing. We understand you are incapacitated in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4. But let us make use of the resources we have so far to justify that we are working. That is true. So we appreciate you, but you must take note on the advice, the pieces of advice given so far to you, so that you know where to make changes so far. We wish you the best. We still be meeting. Thank you, members. Thank you, Office of the Auditor. Thank you, our Secretariat, and to our visitors. Let us close our meeting with a word of prayer. Yeah, I hope you are aware we have some facilities. We'll be having Oberkamot in the morning. Chulaiba in the morning. Chulaimba at 11. Then Kombewa sub-county at 2. So we still have 3 facilities to deal with tomorrow. Kindly please keep time. If you keep time, by 2, we'll be done. But if you don't keep time, it will at 8. At 8, we are praying. Almighty God, in your wisdom and goodness, have appointed the officers of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in the county. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberations in a just and a faithful manner as to promote your honor and glory and to advance peace and prosperity and welfare of our community, county, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. The meeting